guys, welcome back to Castle Combat TV, and in this video I will be showing you guys all 18 cards in the new Castle Combat Summer Set. Some of you guys have seen this already or seen the cards already because I'm making this video about a day late. So there are 18 new shiny cards. It's Age 3 alternate reality. So go back to Age 3 for a second. If you guys remember which characters were very prominent at the time, it's basically that but flipped. Let's do Shogun. So Shogun will be our first card. So back in Age 3, the black good guys were still around, but to put a flip on Shogun, he's actually a black bad guy. His ability is the same. Big Showdown. Shogun gains 1 power every round of battle. Shogun wins tie. So all these cards are shiny. Very exciting stuff. This will be the first set of the summer. Then you have the midsummer set. Moving on to our next card, we have Halrid. And keep in mind, guys, some of these cards are not that great. Some of them are average, and a couple of them are very good. Halrid is the one that's probably one of the worst in the set. But Halrid the Green, before battle roll die. If you roll higher than your foe's power, then your foe must roll 6s, plus 2 versus green bad guys. So not the most powerful card, but Halrid the Green is Nightshade. But in this reality, he never turned against the green bad guys and stayed like that. But since he never went to the green bad guys, he never reached his prime, and that's why he's very, very weak. So moving on to our next card, we have Warden. So Warden, big showdown. Warden gains 1 power after every round of battle. Warden wins ties. In this reality, Warden actually protects the Grail, not Alpheus in this one. Moving on to our next card, we have Mossmog. So Mossmog, King of the Mosswood. Before battle, you can search your foe's top 3 cards in hand. +1 versus Knights, King of the Mosswood. So in this reality, Mossmog stays a green good guy. Moving on to our next card, we have Thunders. So this is kind of like Pike Thunders. Epic Battle, the original Thunders. Roll 2 dice, choose the highest. Doubles, auto, lose. If you defeat Kurz Morgan, then you win the games. So that's a little hint on what's coming up next. Moving on to our next card, we have Porcos. So Porcos, King Porcos, during battle, roll 3 dice. If any match your foe's power, then you auto win the battle. Before battle, bring back 2 pigs. Also, ruler of Pig Island. And right here, you have Tiki Island in the Age 3, or in the alternate reality of Age 3. This is a Pig Island. So, and Porcos is obviously the leader of that. Moving on to our next card, we have Thermo, the Magnificent. So, not much different other than the art, but Epic Battle, you can reroll 1s and 2s. The ruler of the volcano for 1,000 years. So in this reality, Thermo had no competition for the pyramid because coal never existed. Moving on to our next card, we have Boglord. So Boglord, he has the Black Tower in Age 3. I don't think he had it in Age 3. I think Morgana had it, but he does keep it in this reality. Before battle, roll die. If you roll equal or higher, then you auto win. And there's also another ability. You can either do that, or before battle on a 4 higher, then you can go to bottom of the deck. So let's say you're playing against like a 6 and you don't want to play it, and you just want to try to hit the 4 higher and run away to another card, then you can do that. So moving on to our next card, we have Vanquish. So this is Evil Vanquish. So before battle, roll 2 dice. If you roll 6 and you auto win the battle. If you roll double 6s, then you remove your foe from game. Reroll 1s in battle. So it's a black bad guy, but he does not have me first, so it's kind of like a before battle King Crimson. Moving on to our next card, it is Typhoon, the monster of the South Sea. So obviously in Sagenheim we have Typhoon, the Aqua bad leader, but this time it's a like sea serpent, kind of like Alfie. But the South Sea Serpent, if Typhoon loses in battle, all battles in this epic battle counts as a tie, so you can strategically sacrifice him if you don't like the epic battle and want everything to count as a tie. And Typhoon goes to dungeon, win, lose, or tie, +2 versus elementals in battle, and he is a blue neutral. Moving on to our next card, it is Samurai Matt. So this is me. Every time I make a big set, I really like to put myself in that set, like some sort of card, kind of like a signature. Yellow good guy. Samurai Matt can only be defeated by 2 or more. If defeated by 1, then your foe auto loses the round. +2 versus beasts and dragons and epic battle. If this card is signed by me, then your abilities can't be negated. So pretty good card, just weighed down by a pretty weak faction. But yeah, I really like the art. Horse, Samurai, really cool card. Moving on to our next card, we have, let's go with another yellow card, Romulus. So Romulus in this reality was never cursed by Halagor, so he stayed with the yellow good guys and became very powerful. So epic battle, all yellow good guys in epic battle with 5 or less power can reroll 1s per round, and are +1 power, +3 versus beasts in battles. I think any yellow good guy other than Maximus and Silverbolt will get the +1 and the ability to reroll 1s per round. It's a very good card because it kind of translates the black bad guy variant of him, where he's able to give everyone a reroll, but just towards his yellow good guys, which makes sense because the yellow good guys, they're pretty disconnected from the rest of Sagenheim. They're literally on like the edge down here, and you wouldn't expect his ability to work with all colors. Moving on to our next card, we have Evil Odin. So Odin King was actually cursed by the patch in this reality. So epic battle, reverse saga surge, lowest battle score wins, roll 2 dice, choose the lowest, doubles, add together, subtracts from your power. This can go below 0. So if you roll double sixes, then I believe you can go down to a -9. The reason why he doesn't have like must roll 6s or like rivalry lowest power foe in epic battle is because when he was cursed by the patch, the grail effects did wear off. Moving on to our last 5 cards, these are the cards that are really good. We have Permafrost, the Dragon Lord, so Dragon of the North. Permafrost cannot be defeated by any blue foes, -2 versus red bad guys, the strongest Dragon Lord in this reality. So Grendel does not exist in this reality. Permafrost is the Dragon of the North, and as stated, can't be defeated by anything blue, like even on Sagaheim. And keep in mind, for Permafrost, his ability might be a little confusing. He's not auto win versus blue foes, he's just insurance. So if Permafrost played against, let's say, Feral Frostbite, Feral Frostbite doesn't go to dungeon right away, you guys will still battle, and if Feral Frostbite gets the higher roll, Feral Frostbite will go to winners, and Permafrost, he will also go to winners or bottom of the deck, or however you like to play it. Moving on to our next card, we have Evil Otho. So Otho the Owl is evil in this reality, and the entire Sagaheim Wizard Council is evil. So as you guys can see, leader of evil Sagaheim Wizard Council. So big showdown, negate on 2 or higher. Must roll 1s and +1 versus wizards in battle. So very similar to the red card, just a little different because of the bad guy and the must roll 1s, not the can. But moving on to our last 3 cards, I saved the 3 most interesting cards for last. We have Pharaoh Toxicite. So in this reality, Feral Frostbite is a green bad guy because the green bad guys and the blue bad guys are pretty similar. They're both deal like necromancy. So Feral Frostbite turned into Pharaoh Toxicite in this one. So epic battle, if you win battle, bring back 1 green bad guy from dungeon to bottom of the deck. Lit switch, before battle, you can decrease your power to 3. So basically the exact same thing as Feral Frostbite, just not being able to heal any card, but just green. There are some rules with these cards. If you try to combine them with Sagaheim cards, and the Sagaheim cards have a rivalry with the Sagaheim variant of this card, then they can't be in the same deck. So for example, Nightshade, rivalry Feral Frostbite, that still applies to Feral Toxicite. So you can't have these 2 in the same deck. You would have to pick one. And also with that, you can't have Feral Frostbite and Feral Toxicite in the same deck. So that's just a rule clarification that I should mention. But moving on to our second card, it is Onyx the Second. So Onyx the Second is actually, if you look at the age 3 map, Onyx the Second is the one in control of the big mountain up there. So Onyx the Second, epic battle, outsmarted. During battle, you can force your foe to roll once per round. Basically an Onyx the Third copy, just with really cool art. But Onyx the Second, you can't stack him with Onyx the Third because all these Dragon Lords, Thermo, Onyx, and Permafrost have rivalry all Dragon Lords, so you can only have 1 Dragon Lord in a deck unless you're running a command deck. Moving on to our last card, we hinted at it earlier because we're paying attention. It is Cursed Morgan, the best card in this set by far. So it's basically a Prince Morgan, but a purple bad guy. So epic battle, Cursed Prince. Before battle, roll a die. If you roll 3 or higher, then you negate your foe's special ability. You can force your foe to roll once per round, +1 versus good guys. And Bad Sir Drake, Cursed Prince Morgan. So if you guys don't remember, age 3, the Bad Sir Drake saga happened, and Bad Sir Drake actually dueled Prince Morgan. Prince Morgan did win and then converted Bad Sir Drake back to a good guy by giving him the Grail. But in this reality, Bad Sir Drake, being the best swordsman of all time, or best knight on Sagaheim, he wounded Prince Morgan and Prince Morgan turned bad. But remember with this rule, if a purple bad guy card has rivalry Prince Morgan, you cannot have Cursed Morgan and that card in the same decks. You can't put in Cursed Morgan and Romulus in the same deck because Romulus doesn't like the Sagaheim version of Prince Morgan, and he won't like the alternate reality version of him. But a card that I think is good is Morciless. So Morciless, I think she's rivalry all purple good guys, and that wouldn't apply here because it's not specifically Prince Morgan. And yeah, that's basically everything I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.